A gas station can sell thousands of dollars of fuel every day and still make more profit from coffee, snacks, and sandwiches than from the gasoline itself. That sounds backwards. The pumps take up most of the property. The giant fuel sign gets all the attention. Tanker trucks deliver thousands of gallons, and gasoline is the main reason almost every customer stops. But for many gas stations, fuel is not the real profit machine. It is the traffic generator. The real money often begins when the customer walks inside. So how much does a gas station actually make from 1 gallon? Why are coffee and snacks so important? And what separates a profitable station from one that barely survives? Let's break it down. First, the owner does not keep most of the money you pay at the pump. If gasoline sells for $3 per gallon, that price already includes crude oil, refining, transportation, taxes, wholesale fuel costs, and the retailer's markup. Imagine the station buys gasoline for $2.65 and sells it for $3. That gives the owner a 35-cent gross margin. Sounds good, but gross margin is not profit. The station still has to pay employees, electricity, insurance, repairs, rent, taxes, maintenance, security, and card processing fees. So if a driver buys 10 gallons, the station might generate around $3.50 in gross fuel margin. Now that same driver walks inside and spends $8 on coffee and breakfast. Suddenly, the smaller purchase becomes surprisingly important. That is because food and drinks can carry much stronger margins than gasoline. And that explains one of the biggest secrets of this business. Modern gas stations are increasingly becoming convenience stores and small restaurants with fuel pumps outside. Coffee, hot dogs, pizza, sandwiches, energy drinks, snacks, fountain drinks, prepared food. Fuel gets people onto the property. The store makes those people more valuable. Imagine a driver notices gasoline is 3 cents cheaper across the street. He changes lanes and proudly saves 30 cents on 10 gallons. Then he walks inside and buys a $4 energy drink and $6 beef jerky. He saved 30 cents on fuel and immediately spent another $10. The station won. That is the power of convenience. Drivers may compare fuel prices carefully, but once they are hungry, thirsty, or in a hurry, they often stop thinking about margins completely. And that makes location extremely important. A good station needs traffic. Lots of it. Highway exits, busy intersections, shopping areas, office districts, residential neighborhoods, and commuter roads can all create strong demand. Visibility matters too. Drivers need to see the station early enough to stop, and access needs to be simple. If entering the station requires 3 U-turns and a miracle, people will probably keep driving. A cheap piece of land on an empty road may look like a bargain, but a gas station with no traffic is basically an expensive place to store gasoline underground. Then comes volume. Fuel margins are thin, but huge sales volume can still create serious money. Imagine a station sells 200,000 gallons per month. At a gross margin of 30 cents per gallon, that creates $60,000 in gross fuel margin. Sounds excellent. Then come the expenses: payroll, electricity, insurance, property costs, repairs, taxes, security, cleaning, card fees, fuel system maintenance. That $60,000 can shrink very quickly. Now imagine the store generates another $120,000 in monthly sales. Because food, drinks, and convenience products often carry better margins, the store can completely change the economics of the location. This is why a station selling slightly less gasoline but having an excellent convenience store can sometimes be more profitable than a station selling huge volumes of fuel with weak inside sales. The owner is not only thinking about gallons sold, they are thinking about how much each customer spends during the entire visit. But opening a gas station is expensive. The owner may need land, a building, pumps, underground storage tanks, pipes, a canopy, signs, lighting, payment systems, security cameras, refrigeration, parking, and safety equipment. Add a kitchen or car wash, and the investment grows even more. The underground fuel tanks create one of the biggest risks. Thousands of gallons of fuel sit beneath the property. That means leak detection, spill protection, inspections, maintenance, and environmental compliance. If a refrigerator breaks, you lose some drinks. If an underground fuel tank leaks, you may contaminate the soil underneath the station. And environmental cleanup can become extremely expensive. The business also requires serious working capital. Imagine a tanker delivers 8,000 gallons when wholesale gasoline costs $2.50 per gallon. That is $20,000 worth of inventory in one delivery. A busy station may need regular deliveries, so huge amounts of cash can constantly move through the business just to keep the tanks full. That is why a gas station can generate massive revenue without creating massive profit. A station may sell millions of dollars of fuel every year, but most of that money goes straight back into inventory and operating expenses. Big revenue numbers can look impressive. Profit is what matters. Card processing fees are another hidden cost. Most customers pay using debit or credit cards. For customers, that is easy. For the station, it costs money. Fuel margins are already thin, and every transaction takes another small bite. One fee does not look serious. Thousands of card transactions every week absolutely do. That is one reason some stations offer lower cash prices. Labor is another major expense. Someone has to run the register, restock shelves, clean the store, manage food, receive deliveries, check the pumps, handle customer problems, and somehow keep the bathroom usable. Many stations also operate for extremely long hours. Some stay open 24 hours. That means employees may be needed around the clock. The lights stay on. Refrigerators keep running. Security cameras keep recording. Air conditioning keeps working. Convenience for the customer means continuous costs for the owner. Then there is shrink. Shrink is retail language for products lost through theft, mistakes, damaged goods, or expired inventory. One missing chocolate bar does not matter. Thousands of small losses throughout the year do. That is why strong owners track inventory carefully. But the smartest stations do not rely only on fuel and snacks. They create extra profit centers. One of the best examples is a car wash. Installing the equipment can be expensive, but once it exists, each additional wash mainly requires water, chemicals, electricity, and machine time. And the customer is already there. The station does not need to find a completely new person. It just needs to sell one more thing: fuel, then coffee, then food, then maybe a car wash. That is how one customer can become much more valuable. Some stations add ATMs. Others lease space to fast food brands. Large highway travel centers may add diesel pumps, truck parking, showers, restaurants, and repair services. Every one of these businesses is answering the same question. The customer is already here. What else can we sell them? This is why the most important number may not simply be gallons sold. It may be profit per visit. Imagine two stations selling gasoline at almost the same price. Station A has dirty bathrooms, terrible coffee, poor lighting, and slow checkout. Customers fuel up and leave. Station B has clean bathrooms, fresh food, good coffee, fast service, and a loyalty program. Which one are you more likely to visit again? Probably Station B. And if thousands of customers make the same decision, those small differences become very valuable. Clean bathrooms are not just cleanliness. They help bring customers back. Good coffee is not just coffee. It creates repeat purchases. Fast checkout is not just convenience. It allows the station to serve more customers. The business is competing on the entire stop. That becomes even more important when another station opens nearby. Imagine a competitor across the road drops gasoline by 5 cents. The owner now has 3 choices: match the price and sacrifice margin, keep the higher price and risk losing traffic, or offer a better experience so customers continue coming anyway. That is why successful convenience chains invest so heavily in food, cleanliness, loyalty programs, and customer service. They want people choosing the station itself, not just the cheapest fuel sign. Now there is another major question: electric vehicles. Gas stations are not disappearing tomorrow, but EV charging could change the economics of some locations. A gasoline customer may spend 5 minutes at the station. An EV driver may stay much longer while charging. That creates an opportunity. If someone is waiting, they may buy coffee, food, snacks, maybe even sit inside for a while. A longer visit could actually make the convenience store side of the business even more valuable. But EV chargers are not automatic money machines. Fast chargers can require expensive equipment and major electrical upgrades. Usage is everything. A charger used constantly can create value. A charger sitting empty all day is just a very expensive parking lot decoration. So, can owning a gas station be profitable? Yes, but it is much more complicated than buying gasoline cheaply and selling it for more. A strong station needs the right location, high traffic, good fuel volume, smart pricing, reliable equipment, controlled expenses, environmental compliance, and most importantly, a store people actually want to enter. Because the biggest numbers on the property may be displayed on the fuel sign, but the biggest profit may be hiding inside a cup of coffee. Fuel gets the customer to stop. Food, drinks, snacks, car washes, and convenience make that stop more valuable. That is the economics of owning a gas station. The customer thinks they stopped to fill the tank. The owner is trying to make sure they leave with something else too. And if you enjoy discovering how ordinary businesses really make their money, subscribe for more. Because sometimes the most profitable part of a business is not the thing everyone notices first.